Hi, welcome back to my channel. This video is for The Good Wife by Ellery Kane. Now, in this domestic thriller, we have Cassie, who is a lawyer. She's a corporate lawyer, and her husband, Theo Copeland. He used to be a member of a band called the Sluggers. Now, there's a nanny. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Theo. Theo was a stay-at-home dad. Cassie was the big breadwinner. And so Theo would walk. I think they had a little boy, their child, a little girl. I'm not that. Forgive me for that because a child doesn't really play into the story. But he takes the baby to the park, and of course he meets other mothers, but mostly other nannies. And there's a nanny that he meets, the nanny of two twins, and she's actually Cassie's old friend, and her name is Elise. So there's our connection of those three characters. Cassie, the lawyer, Theo, her husband, and Elise, who is a nanny, but as we learn, was an old friend of Cassie's. Now, Elise is murdered. That pregnant pause that I just shared with you is because I was trying to think, is this a spoiler or not? But we'll say it's not a spoiler. Because what happens is Cassie agrees or decides to represent and to defend Theo's innocence in court. Although she's a corporate lawyer, she's never dealt with a courtroom drama, but she's about to engage in one. Now, one thing that is in the back of Cassie's mind is, what was Theo doing when he would go to the park and be around these other mothers and nannies? And could he, as rumors show, have been having an affair with Elise? Now, while all of that's going through her mind, and then Elise is found dead, and Theo is suspect numero uno, Cassie begins to wonder, okay, I need the full picture here. What was going on? Now, we have the way the story is told. We have present day Cassie, but we also have Theo in the past, just 6 months previously. So we get to see what led up to whatever happened to Elise from Theo's perspective. But in the present part of the story, we're watching Cassie, who is struggling to accept the fact that Theo is claiming innocence when it came to the fact that he possibly was having an affair with Elise. And then we have Cassie, the lawyer, the attorney, now defending her husband. Now, there's a couple of sensitive areas in this book that touch on domestic situations, such as the effects of domestic abuse. Then we factor in infidelity. And this doesn't involve Cassie, and it doesn't involve Theo. It just comes into the story. And with that coming into the story, then we start to see a different layer to Cassie, because she sees those bad examples, the example of the domestic abuse, the example of infidelity, and how she feels about Theo and whether or not he was faithful to her. And more than anything, is Theo capable, or was Theo capable of murder? So that brings about Secrets of the Past, and you get those little snippets when you read Theo's portion of the book, when you read his point of view. And then, of course, we have our Cassie. So Ellery Kane writes thrilling books. And in this one, it was a courtroom drama. Now, I would say 2 or 3 courtroom based TV shows that I have watched over the decades. So it was very easy to feel that I was right there while Cassie was defending Theo. But it doesn't mean that everything was smooth and kosher and going well. No, there was some drama there. There was some drama there. And that's why I mentioned me watching television courtroom dramas, because you get that vibe. You get that vibe, and you get it in a good way. Definitely in a good way. And you may not be surprised at how the book ended, but I love it when you think you reach the conclusion of a book and then you see there's a little bit more. And that's why K.L. Slater is such a good writer. She baits you in the beginning, she sucks you right into the story, and holds on to you all the way through to the very end, and you don't stop reading until you get to the end. And that's what happens with every Kim or K.L. Slater book that I have read thus far. Page turners, beginning to end, no breaks. And that's what happens when you read The Good Wife. Alrighty, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.